Hooks, slices, and shanks can be detrimental to your score, but even worse for the homes nearby.
There are more than 16,000 golf courses across the country, and the clubs aren't usually responsible for repairing any broken windows from errant balls. Some Georgia homeowners say over the years, the damage from living so close to a course has cost them tens of thousands of dollars.
Investigative reporter Anastasia Almost takes an in-depth look at the safety hazards and finds out who's really out of bounds.
I came out with my baby in the garage and glass was all over my car.
I was out in my driveway one afternoon, sitting in my truck, and I heard this boom sound.
One might assume these homeowners are talking about burglars.
I'm scared to go out in my yard.
But in this Marietta community, hazards fall from the sky.
You can hear them sometime coming through the trees.
Oh my God, what happened? What is that? And I look down and there's a golf ball.
Jewel Montgomery and Ronnie Pope are neighbors who've lived across the street from the Marietta Country Club golf course for almost 25 years.
Didn't have a clue of what was going to be happening after I moved in.
We didn't get that many balls at first.
But over the years,
more balls, more balls.
The balls continue, they come and they come.
See that big old dent right there?
Dented gutters, garage doors, and
all of a sudden the ball came out here, so said, boom! It hit the top of my truck.
And even worse, broken window after broken window, causing thousands of dollars in damage.
Now I've replaced my windows over $70-some thousand.
Out-of-pocket expenses and close calls, with balls nearly hitting them while simply mowing the lawn.
All of a sudden, on the bill of my hat, a ball hit it. And I said, wow, what is that? And I looked around, I said, wow, a golf ball.
Montgomery is also worried about her 9-year-old daughter, who loves to play in the backyard.
If they hit my daughter, I'm not going to tolerate it.
These neighbors live right across the street from a par 4 hole, with 453 yards from the furthest tee box to the hole. Depending on the golfer's skill level, a 20 to 30 degree slice can send balls right to Montgomery and Pope's homes.
Look, look, look. See, they buried.
The neighbors say the country club's insurance company paid for the very first broken windows more than a decade ago, but nothing since.
The biggie was the picture frame window and my office windows again. So I sent a certified letter, and then I got this message December the 20th, a voice message saying they're not responsible.
We reached out to the Marietta Country Club several times to ask about their protocols, but didn't receive a response. Ronnie Miles with the National Golf Course Owners Association tells us this is a growing problem across the country.
We get a lot more golfers today than we had 5 years ago before COVID, and many of these golfers have, let's just say, little wilder skills, hitting the ball rather, with a little less accuracy.
Miles says the laws vary by state.
In Georgia, for example, Georgia recognizes the assumption of risk doctrine.
In other words, anyone who moves into a home knowing a golf course is near should consider themselves forewarned.
Which owner was there first?
Miles says homeowners can reference land records called easements.
There's an easement that goes around the perimeter so many feet out from the property line of the golf course, so balls can penetrate and travel into that area.
Marietta Country Club's easement from 1989 protects their golf ball liability within 30 feet of the property. We measured, and the Popes and Montgomerys are more than 60 feet from the club's fence. Montgomery says she's called lawyers, but they tell her they'll only take a case if there are injuries. Miles says course owners should consider any possible changes to help minimize problems.
For example, could they move the tee box to minimize that problem?
These neighbors are asking the course to take into consideration those living within range of a slice in their paradise.
They need to pay now. They need to move the tee box. They need to put up a net and not have the balls coming over here in this neighborhood, because we don't live on the golf course.
If you're out playing golf and your bad shot leaves the course, you could be held responsible, especially if there was intent behind the damage. The National Golf Course Owners Association told us courses could consider repositioning the tee box or adding more trees around the perimeter. And before you move within range of a course, homeowners should check property records to see if they are in the course's landing zone.